Complete work of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 5, Section 1, Epistles, 95. Mayavati Himalayas, 15th January 1901. My dear Sturdy, I learned from Saradanand that you have sent over rupees 1529 to 555 to the mutt. Been the money that was in the hand for work in England. I am sure it will be rightly used. Captain Seaver passed away about 3 months ago. They have made a fine place here in the mountains, and Mrs. Seaver means to keep it up. I am on a visit to her, and I may possibly come over to England with her. I wrote you a letter from Paris. I am afraid you did not get it. So sorry to learn the passing away of Mrs. Trudy. She has been a very good wife and good mother, and it is not ordinarily one meets with such in this life. This life is full of shocks, but the effects pass away anyhow. That is the hope. It is not because of your free expressions of opinion in your last letter to me that I stopped writing. I only let the wave pass, as is my wont. Letters would only have made a wave of a little bubble. Kindly tender my regards and love to Mrs. Johnson and other friends if you meet them. And I am ever yours in the truth. Vivekananda. 96. The Mutt Belur, Howar District, Bengal. 26 January 1901. My dear mother, many thanks for your very encouraging words. I have needed them very much just now. The gloomy has not lifted with the advent of the new century. It is visibly thickened. I went to see Mrs. Seaver at Mayavati. On my way, I learnt of the sudden death of Raja of Khetri. It appears he was restoring some old art architectural monuments at Agra as at his own expense and was up some tower on inspection. Part of the tower came down and he was instantly killed. The three tracks have arrived. They will reach my cousin when next I see her. Jo is here, but I have not seen her yet. The moment I touch Bengal, especially the mud, the asthmatic fits returned. The moment I leave, I recover. I am going to take my mother on pilgrimage next week. It may take months to make the complete round of pilgrimage. This is the one great wish of a Hindu widow. I have brought only misery to my people all my life. I am trying at least to fulfill this one wish of her. I am so glad to learn all that about Margot. Everybody here is eager to welcome her back. I hope Dr. Bose has completely recovered by this time. I had a beautiful letter from Mrs. Hammond. She is a great soul. However, I am very calm and self-possessed with this time and find everything better than I ever expected. With all love, ever your son Vivekanand. 97 Mudbellur. My dear Shashi, I am going with my mother to Rameshwaram. That is all. I don't know whether I shall go to Madras at all. If I go, it will be strictly private. My body and mind are completely worked out. I cannot stand a single person. I do not want anybody. I have neither the strength nor the money nor the will to take up anybody with me. Bhaktas that is devotees of Guru Maharaja or not, it does not matter. It was very foolish of you even to ask such a question. Let me tell you again, I am more dead than alive and strictly refuse to see anybody. If you cannot manage this, I don't go to Madras. I have to become a bit selfish to save my body. Let Yogin Ma and others go their own way. I shall not take up any company in my present state of health. Yours in love, Vivekanand. 98. The Mud Bellur, Howard District, Bengal. 2nd February 1901. My dear mother, several days ago I received your letter and a check of rupees 150 included. I will tear up this one, as the three previous checks I have handed over to my cousin. Jo is here, and I have seen her twice. She is busy visiting. Mrs. Seaver is expected here soon. En route to England. I expected to go to England with her, but as it now turns out, I must go on a long pilgrimage with my mother. My health suffers the moment I touch Bengal. Anyhow, I don't much mind it now. I am going on a well, and so do things about me. Glad to learn about Margaret success, but says Joe, it is not financially paying. There is the rub. Mere continuous is of little value, and it is a far cry from London to Calcutta. Well, mother knows. Everybody is praising Margaret's. Everybody is praising Margaret's Kali, the mother. But alas, they cannot get a book to buy. The booksellers are too indifferent to promote the sale of the book. That this new century may find you and yours suspendable. That this new century may find you and yours in splendid health and equipment for a yet greater future is and always has been the prayer of your son. Vivekanand. 99 Belur Mud District Howard, 14 February 1901. My dear Joe, I am ever so glad to hear that Boyos is coming to Calcutta. Send him immediately to the mud. I will be here. If possible, I will keep him here for a few days and then let him go again to Nepal. Yours, etc. Vivekanand. 100. The Mud Bellur Howard, Bengal, 17 February 1901. Dear Joe, just now received your nice long letter. I am so glad that you met and approved Miss Cornelia Sorab, Sorabji. Cornelia Sorabji. I knew her father at Pune, also a younger sister who was in America. Perhaps her mother will remember me as the sannyasin who used to live with the Thakur Sahib of Limbadi at Pune. I hope you will go to the Baroda and see the Maharani. I am I am much better and hope to continue so for some time. I have just now a beautiful letter I have just now a beautiful letter from Mrs. Seaver in which she writes a whole lot of beautiful things about you. I'm so glad, I'm so glad you saw Mr. Tata and find him so strong and good. I will, of course, accept an invitation if I am strong enough to go to Bombay. Do wire the name of the steamer you live by for Colombo. With all love, your affectionate Vivekanand. 101. Dhaka, 29 March 1901. My dear mother, by this time you must have received my other note from Dhaka. Saradanand has been suffering badly from fever in Calcutta. which has become simply a hell of demon this year. He has recovered and is now in the mud, which, thank God, is one of the healthiest places in our Bengal. I do not know what conversation took place between you and my mother. I was not present. I suppose it was only an eager desire on her part to see Margot, nothing else. My advice to Margot would be to mature her plans in England and work them out of good health before before she comes back. God, good solid work must wait. Saradananda accept to go to Darjeeling to Mrs. Banerjee, who has been in Calcutta for a few days. As soon as he is strong enough. I have no news yet of Joe from Japan. Mrs. Seaver expects to sail soon. My mother, aunt, and cousin came over 5 days ago to Dhaka, as there was a great sacred bath in the Brahmaputra river. Whenever a particular conjunction of planets takes place, which is very rare, a huge concourse of people gather on the river on a particular spot. This year there have been more than 100,000 people. For miles the river was covered by or with boats. The river, though nearly a mile broad at the place, was one mass of mud, but it was firm enough so we had our bath and puja worship and all that. I am rather enjoying Dhaka. I am going to take my mother and other ladies to Chandranath, a holy place at the easternmost coast corner of Bengal. I am rather well and hope you and your daughter and Margot are also enjoying splendid health with everlasting love. Ever your son Vivekananda. P.S. My cousin and mother send you and Margaret their love. P.S. I do not know the date. 102. The Mutt. 15th May 1901. My dear Swarup Anand. Your letter from Nainital is quite exciting. I have just returned from my tour through East Bengal and Assam. As usual, I am quite tired and broken down. If some real good comes out of the visit to HH of Baroda, I am ready to come over. Otherwise, I don't want to undergo the expense and exertion of a long journey. Think it well. Think it well over and make inquiries and write me if you still think it would be best for the cause for me to come to see HH. Yours with love and blessing, Vivekananda. 103. The Mutt of Belur, Howard District, Bengal, India, 18th May 1901. My dear Mary, sometimes it is very hard to be tired to be shoestring, to tie to the shoestring of a great name. Sometimes it is hard work to be tied to the shoestrings of a great name. And that was just what happened to my letter. You wrote on the 22nd January 1901. You tied me of the latchet of the great name, Miss MacLeod. Consequently, the letter has been following her up and down the world. Now it reached me yesterday from Japan, where Miss MacLeod is at present. Well, this therefore is the solution of the Speak's riddle. Thou shalt not join a great name with a small one. So, Mary, you have been enjoying Florence and Italy. I do not know where you be by this time. So, fat old lady, I throw this letter to the mercy of Monrio and Co. 7 Rue Scribe. Now, old lady, so You have been dreaming away of Florence in Florence and Italian lakes. Good. Your poet object to been to it's been empty though. Well, devoted sister, how about myself? I came to India last fall. I came to India last fall, suffered all through winter, and went this summer touring through East Bengal and Assam, through a land of giant rivers and hills and malaria. And after hard work of 2 months, had a collapse and am now back to Calcutta, slowly recovering from the effect of it. The Raja of Khetri died from a fall of few months ago. So you see, things are all gloomy with me just now, and my own health is wretched. Yet I am sure to bob up soon, and am waiting for the next turn. I wish I were in Europe just to have a long chat with you return to quick return quick to India. For after all I feel a sort of quiet nowadays and have done with three-fourths of my restlessness. My love to Harriet Woolley, to Elizabeth, to Harriet McKinley, and to Mother, my eternal love and gratitude. Tell Mother the subtle Hindu gratitude runs through the generation. Ever yours in the Lord, Vivekananda. P.S. Write a line when you feel it. Okay. 104 Mutt of Bidlu, District Howard, 3rd June 1901. Dear Shashi, reading your letter, I felt like laughing and also rather sorry. The cause of the laughter is that you have a dream, though indigestion, and made yourself miserable, taking it to be a real. The cause of my sorrow is that it is clear from this that your health is not good, and that your nerves requires rest very badly. Never have I laid a curse on and why should I do so now? All your life you have known my love for you, and today are you doubting it? Truth, true, my temper was ever bad, and nowadays, owing to illness, it association it associationally becomes terrible. But now but know this for certain that my love can never cease. My health nowadays is becoming a little better. Have the rains started in Madras? When the rains begin a little in the south, I may go to the Madras by Mumbai and Pune. With the onset of rains, the terrible heat of the south will perhaps subside. My great love to you and others. Yesterday, Sharath returned to the mud from Darjeeling. His health is much better than it was before. I have come here after a tour of East Bengal and Assam. All work has its ups and downs, its periods of intensity and slackness. Again, it will rise up. What fear! Whatever that may be, I say that you stop your work for some time and come straight back to the mud. After you have taken a month's rest here, you and I together will make a grand tour via Gujarat, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Mysore, and Madras. Would not that be the grand? If you cannot do this, stop your lecture in Madras for a month. That take a little good food and sleep well. Within 2 to 3 months I shall go there. In any case, reply immediately as to what you decide to do. Yours with blessings, Vivekanand. 105. The Mud Bidlur, Howard District, 14 June 1901. Dear Joe, I am so glad you are enjoying Japan, especially Japanese artists. You are perfectly correct in saying that we will have to learn many things from Japan. The help that Japan will give us will be with great sympathy and respect, whereas that from the West unsympathetic and destructive. Certainly, it is very desirable to establish a connection between India and Japan. As for me, I was thrown hors the combat in Assam. The climate of the mud is just reviving. It just reviving me a bit. At Shillong, the hill sanatorium of Assam, I had fever, asthma, increase of albumin, and my body swelled to almost twins its normal, and my body swelled to almost twice its normal size. This symptom subsided, however, as soon as I reached the mud. It is dreadful hot this year, but a bit of rain has commenced, and I hope we will soon have the monsoon in full force. I have no plans just now, except the Bombay presidency wants me to badly that I think of going there soon. We are thinking of starting touring through Bombay in the week or so. The $300 you speak of sent by Lady Betty have not reached me yet, and nor have I any intimations of this or its arrival from General Patterson. He, poor man, was rather miserable after his wife and child sailed for Europe and asked me to come and see him. But unfortunately, I was so ill and am so afraid of going into the city that I must wait till the rain have set in. Now, Joe, dear, if I am to go to Japan this time, it is necessary that I take Sardhananda with me to carry on the work. Also, I must have the promised letter to Li Hung Cheng from Mr. Maxim, but mother knows the rest. I am still undecided. So you went to Alanquena to see the foreteller. Did he convince you of his powers? What did he say? Right, particular still Sylvius Platz. Julius Boyce went as far as Lahore, been prevented from the entering Nepal. I learned from the paper that he could not bear the heat and fell ill. Then he took ship at Bon Voyage. He did not write me a single line since we met in the mud. You also are determined to drag every Vulgarian. I learned from the paper that he could not bear the heat and fell ill. Then he took ship at Voyage. He did not write me a single line since we met in the mud. You also are determined to drag Mrs. Bull down to Japan from Norway all the way. Ben Medimios Vios Athis Views Punescent Magician send out. Well, Joe, keep healthy and spirit up. The Alanquanian men's words come out true, most of them, and the glory at Horon always you, and the Mukti. The natural habitation of woman is through marriage to climb up, learning upon a man, but leaning upon a man, but those days are gone. You shall be great without the help of any man, just as you are. Plain, dear Joe, our Joe, everlasting Joe. We have seen enough of this life to care for any of its bubbles, have we not, Joe? For months I have been practicing to drive away all sentiment. Therefore, I stop here and goodbye just now. It is ordained by Mother. We work together. It has been already for the good of many. It shall be for the good of many more. So let it be. It is useless planning, useless high fight. Mother will find her own way. Rest assured. Ever yours with love and heart blessing, Vivekananda. P.S. Now, just now came a check of rupees 3,000, sorry, rupees 300 from Mr. Ok- Okekuru, Okekura and the invitation. It is very tempting, but mother knows all the same. 10106 The Mud Billur, 18th June 1901. Dear Joe, I enclose with yours and acknowledgement of Mr. Okekura's money. Of course, I am up to all your tricks. However, I am really trying to come. But you know, 1 month to go, one to come, and few days stay. Never mind, I am trying my best. Only my terribly poor health, some illegal affairs, etc., may make a little delay. With everlasting love, Vivekananda. 107. The Mud Bellur, Howard, Bengal, India, 1901. Dear Joe, I cannot even in imagination pay the immense depth of gratitude I owe you. Wherever you are, wherever you are, you never forget my welfare, and there you are, the only one that bears all my burdens, all my brutal up- outbursts. Your Japanese friend has been very kind, but my health is so poor that I am rather afraid to have rather afraid I have not much time to spare for Japan. I will drag myself through the Bombay presidency, even if only to say how do you do to all kind friends. Then 2 months will be consumed in coming and going, and the only 1 month to stay. That is not much of the chance for work, is it? So kindly pay the money your Japanese friend has sent for my passage. I shall give it up to you when you come to India in November. I have had a terrible collapse in Assam, from which I am slowly recovering. The Bombay people have waited. The Bombay people have waited and waited till they are sick. Must see them this time. If in spite of all this you wish me to come, I shall start the minute you write. I had a letter from Mrs. Leggett from London asking whether the Euro 300 have reached me safe. They have, and I had written a week or some before to her the acknowledgement, care of Monreal and Corporation, Paris, as per her previous instruction. Her last letter came to me with the envelope ripped up in the most barefaced manner. The post officials of India or in India does even try to do the opening of my mail descent. Ever yours with love, Vivekanand.